Hey everyone, my name is Mehul, and today we're just going to talk about making macOS builds for Apple Computer using our Unity projects. So I've observed that we face a lot of challenge in creating macOS builds at Meteor Studio across multiple of our projects because a macOS build can only be created on Apple Computer. To resolve or to overcome that challenge, we'll be using UnityCloud service for this, which allows us to create a Mac build using any platform and any device. It could be a smartphone or a Windows computer for that matter. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we'll open up Unity Cloud. Once you have opened up Unity Cloud, just log into the Meteor Studio account. We'll go to the dashboard. So here you'll see there's a lot of projects here. You should have your project on this list. If you don't, you can just create a new one. I'll create a new one just for a demo right now. Okay, once you have this project up here, we go into DevOps. That is where we build our configurations. So we'll go into a build automation configuration where we'll see, so we don't have a source control yet, so we'll add our source control. So for most of our Unity stuff, we use Unity version control, which was previously known as Plastic SCM. If you have anything else, you can use that, but for now, we'll use that. Okay, and then the organization server is Meteor Studio at Cloud, and yeah, that should be good enough. Source control, once we have that set up, um, give it a second. Okay, so those changes are saved. We can go into configurations, and here we'll do a quick target setup. So for a target, we can just click on Mac desktop because that's what we are aiming. Let's call it test. Okay. So here for the repo, we can select the name of whichever repo you have on our Unity version control server. For example, I'm going to use Previt because that's the project that I was building this for. And you can specify the Unity version that you have here. Select from the list. And we can also do auto detect, but I usually do both. I usually select the one that I have, and then I also select the. So yeah, let's do this. So I usually do the Silicon one because macOS Sonoma is the latest, and Silicon is the Apple M1 chips, the M series chips that came out. And you can change these settings based on your target audience. Okay. Okay, so all of these, just make sure you're doing exactly what I did. And for the builder configuration, we go with the standard. And then for credentials, this is the main important thing, which is notarizations. This is where, so, if you create a Mac build and you want to distribute it to other users who have their own macOS desktops or laptops, for those you need to notarize your build, otherwise it won't be able to play on that. So for that, first of all, we need a bundle ID and a credential set. The credential set, I've already set up all the credentials and the certificates in this system. So you can just go ahead and select the private automation. It will show up all the details here. For the bundle ID, I'll quickly show you how to do that. We'll just open our Apple developer account. So just log into this account. You can find these credentials. Just get in touch with your project lead and they should be able to guide you to that. Okay, we'll go into Robert's account. And then from here, we go into identifiers. Okay, this is where the bundle IDs are stored. For example, for Prevet, we have this. For your project, sorry, one second. I think I accidentally clicked on it. Okay, so for your project, you can click on this and then, just make a new one, app ID, and continue just app. And then, yeah, you can continue, give it a name. Name should be of the format that we saw just here, like this one, com.example.com, where you know there's a company name, and then the for the test app is the test name. So it's just like that, you do that. All right, and then you can select the ones that you need and continue, and it will just, yeah. As soon as you do that, you'll have your bundle ID. You put your bundle ID here. This is the credential set. And also, we don't need to do any of these. You can add some scheduling if you really need to, but I avoid that. So we go into the advanced settings. Once you go into the advanced settings, this is the executable name. This is important. So for here, the name that you put here, this is what the name that will show up in your executable. For example, if I had preview here, after the build is complete, the app that will show up on my account will be preview.app. So the name that you want the app, the icon to show up as, that's what you put here. And for this, I usually do cache library. So this caches your library folder and stores it. So every time you make a new build, it takes lesser time. First time that you make a build, it will take quite some time. After that, any subsequent builds will take a lot lesser time. So once you do all of these settings, none of this you really need to do. That's all you need to do. And then you just click save configuration. This configuration will get saved. So for example, this one, since this is missing here, that's why it won't get saved. Let's move on to a project that has this configuration set up. This is the last step. Once you do that, we can go back to previewed. Yeah. So once you do that, it will show this configuration will show up like that, like this, like a build target, and then you can just click on build here. And you can also go to build history to see all the previous builds. For example, if I click on a build, this is exactly what shows up when you click on build and it starts a build. This is the window that shows up, and it will show you how much time it's taking, the changes that are being, so based on which chain set you did the last build and this one, it will show you what all chain sets were in between. This also displays a full log of exactly what's happening. So if at some point your build fails, you can read through this and it will tell you exactly where what happened. Okay. And it also shows a compact log where you can see like a smaller version of that log. And then it shows you the steps that it took to create that build. After that, in the artifacts folder, you can see this build that showed up. You can also share this build directly through this link. For example, I'll just show you how to, trigger a build. So if you go here and you click on build, it will ask you to you can either click on build and it will use all the default settings, or you can come here and select whichever branch you want to choose, enter the chain set id, which exact chain set you want to do, and like which operating system and version you're making this build for. But this is like for specific use cases. But if you just click on build, it will use the default configuration that we set up, and by default it always takes the latest chain set. So you see the build has started. We can go here and see all the details. Once the build starts and everything is done, as we saw for the last build, an icon shows up here through which you can download your build or you can share it. Yeah. And you can access this from any platform. I have even triggered a build using my phone. So it's it's very quick and you don't need to rely on always having an Apple computer to create a Mac build. And this really speeds up a lot of stuff. And as long as you have internet, you can just log on to UnityCloud, click on build, and then you should be done. That's all. And anyone can access it. So there's, no need to first make a build and notarize it and upload it. You can just share a link and anyone should be able to just use that link to download it. Yeah, that's all I had for now. Thank you so much for following on this, and thank you.